Illinois residents will soon be guaranteed full coverage if they need their jaw reconstructed due to an accident or an illness.
Governor Pritzker signed legislation last month requiring coverage from insurance companies. Illinois Capitol Bureau Chief Max Cotton spoke with a dentist about why it's important.
We have patients over the years who have gone through cancer treatments or they've had major accidents, and then when it comes time to finally start putting them back together, we run into the issue where an insurance company won't cover the necessary treatment because they view it as cosmetic.
That's why Illinois lawmakers unanimously passed legislation mandating insurance plans cover all medically necessary treatments for major jaw injuries. This includes oral and facial surgery, dental implants, and prosthetics. Springfield dentist Maggie Schaefer-Gilpin says this is one of the many gaps between dental and medical insurance.
There are a lot of treatments that patients need that get denied.
In this case, it was an insurance company denying a jaw cancer patient coverage to get their teeth replaced, leading lawmakers to take action.
If someone loses their jaw due to cancer or an accident, that teeth are part of the jaw and should be covered.
That's a gap because we can all agree that it's more than just cosmetic, it's function.
She says these procedures help restore necessary function that we need to live normal lives. And if not covered by insurance, the treatment could potentially bankrupt you. In Springfield, Max Cotton, WGEM News.
And this isn't the only new law regulating dental insurance. Governor Pritzker also signed a bill last month requiring insurance companies cover treatment previously authorized.